Hello, everybody. My name is Monica Viveros. I'm the marketing coordinator at the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. If you're watching this video, it's because you are going to present for us or in general, and you just want some tips and know-how from our two great presenters that we have. I have invited Misty Starks and Karina Cuellar, and they will be giving us a few tips today on how to be great presenters. They have been chosen because their personalities really shine through the camera, and they are really great at keeping our attendees present and engaged in our events. So I will pass it on over to Misty as she introduces herself to us. Thank you, Misty.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. So I'm Misty Starks. I am the founder of Misty Blue Media and the owner of 3B Resources Group Public Relations. I'm also a member of the board of the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. And I am just excited that you're going to be presenting to an audience of our chamber members and those in the community. And so hopefully you get some great tips today.
Thank you, Misty. And my name's Karina Cuellar. I'm the membership specialist with the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. And one of my jobs is to make sure that I let all of the members know how to conduct themselves during meetings and during events. And a part of your membership opportunities is you get a chance to speak. I hope that whenever you do present that you feel confident enough to showcase your business and your personality to our members. So I hope that this video helps you when it comes to talking and presenting yourself on video.
Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Karina. Misty, would you like to go ahead and lead in with some pointers?
Sure. So I would like to start off with a little bit of tech tips. So, a lot of people are, intimidated by technology, and that's certainly understandable. But today, in today's age, it's just a part of life right now. So we have to really embrace technology. So from a tech standpoint, when you are getting ready to present, particularly on your computer or on your phone, you want to make sure that your camera is eye level. So the way my camera is positioned right now, I'm actually looking directly into the camera. It's positioned eye level. You don't want your camera to be too high, so you're looking up, or too low, so you're looking down. You want it to be eye level, and that way you're able to maintain eye contact with the people on the other side who are watching. And it actually creates a sense of intimacy, and it makes it feel like you're talking directly to them. And it just makes it a little bit more personable. So make sure you position your camera at eye level. Whether you're using a computer or your phone or a tablet, you want to make sure to have it on a steady platform. So whether it's a desk or a stack of books or what have you, you just want to make sure it's something that's not going to move or wiggle or, reposition the camera unexpectedly. So make sure you have it on a stable platform. Obviously, you should test your video and audio before you get started. And most programs that you use will allow you to do this before whatever it is you're about to record or whatever it is you're going to present, whatever the technology is. So make sure that you are, testing your audio, making sure it's clear, testing your video, making sure it's crisp and clear as well. And if by chance your video or audio is not clear when you test it, you may be able to use another device. So the camera that I'm currently using right now is not my camera on my computer. My camera on my computer is not that great. So I bought a webcam, and I'm able to just plug it in using the USB port, plug and play, and you're ready to go. So don't be afraid to, try different things. I mean, we're all in the same boat here. So I really want to take the intimidation factor out of this discussion. Obviously, make sure you're in an area that's quiet, that's well lit. You want your light to be shining toward you, and your camera to be between you and the light source. So whether it's a window or a light, you may have a ring light or some other sort of light source. Make sure that you're facing the light, but the camera is between you and the light source. This will allow you to be illuminated. You don't want to be too bright or not bright enough. And hopefully I'm doing a good job of looking directly into the camera. So that's something that sometimes it seems challenging, and it is challenging. It does take practice. One trick that I just learned myself is you can take a sheet of paper and cover your computer screen so that only your camera is showing. And this will help you avoid looking down at the people's faces on the computer screen versus looking into the camera. And this will just help you over time as you get used to doing this. It helps you look at the camera, look into the camera so that you're looking at the person, in theory, who you're talking to. And like I said, this takes practice. So don't be afraid if you don't get it right the first time. And, occasionally, if you do need to look at your notes, it's okay. I mean, we're used to that nowadays. So if you have some notes with you, don't be afraid to look at your notes, whether it's on your phone or you have it printed out or it's on your computer screen. And so those are my initial tech tips. Karina, what about you?
Thank you, Misty. That was excellent. And you've really covered, the majority of, we've all become experts in this thing. So yes, everything that Misty did touch on, is great. And if you do have technical issues during your meetings, one thing that you can't do is don't panic. It happens to the best of us and it happens to everybody. All you have to do is keep yourself poised and just let your attendants know, hey guys, we're having some technical issues. Bear with me for a few moments while I get us back on track. And then maybe pose a question to let your people have an open discussion, just so it shows that you don't miss a step, even when technology fails us. So it does happen. So don't fret about it and just kind of work to get it done and fixed during your meeting.
So one of the things that I really want to touch on is your actual presentation, your presence. Your tone is very important. So even though you are not in person with your audience, well, because you're not in person with your audience, it's even more important to have a great inflection in your tone. You don't want to sound monotone or robotic at all. So try to inject some emotion into your voice and even into your face if you're going to be on camera. It's okay to gesture, it's okay to laugh, make it fun and interesting for people. Karina, I think you do a great job at that.
Yeah.
And I try to do a good job at it. So, but it's definitely important to help people feel more engaged and to not tune out, because we know most people they're doing 3 other things while they're listening to you in most cases. So you want to keep them as engaged as possible by using your tone and your presence.
Absolutely. And to kind of touch on that, so looking for the difference in what event you're going to have also really helps. So if it's more of a structured business event, you do want to hold yourself a little more poised. But if it's something more of a networking event that you're trying to get to know each other and know each other's businesses or talk to another person, human to human, let your personality shine. It does get very boring when we're over computers sometimes. And so you do miss those relationship factors of really seeing somebody's personality. And in order to do that through a computer screen, it's as simple as what Misty said. Smile, do the gestures, even if you have to dance a little, and just get people excited that even though we are going through this virtual world, we can still outshine and show our personalities and really show people who we are, even if it's just through a camera screen. So when we do get in person, people that, hey, I saw you on a meeting, and they get comfortable enough to approach you, because if we're kind of closed and robotic, somebody may not feel comfortable to approach you in person. So don't be shy. You're able to open up the room and really let yourself shine through these meetings and just kind of go with the flow. Make sure that you keep yourself kind of relaxed, but always sit up straight, because if you're slouched a little bit, you might be a little more close. So always keep yourself up, sit up straight. Make sure to keep yourself up straight, look into the camera like Misty said, and just relax, as these meetings should just go nice and easy for you.
And then another point I want to bring up is having notes. So if you have notes, I suggest you have a written or printed version of your notes and digital, because we know sometimes technology can fail us. So for instance, in this video right now, I actually have some notes that are on my screen that I'm able to navigate while I talk to you. I also have a set of notes that are on my phone. So if something happens, as we know it always does, I can also not miss a beat and refer to my phone. And I didn't get a chance to print my notes today, but I do suggest that you have a set of printed notes next to you just in case.
Absolutely. That always helps too. What we do for our events as a chamber is we write agendas before our meetings to just kind of show the program of work. And it's okay if you don't go by your agenda, but at least it is there to make sure that you're at least on time, because of course you do have to respect everybody's times with these meetings. And sometimes it's a little hard if you don't have anything in front of you, because you can run on and then you miss the key factors of what you're trying to bring and then you miss the key factors of the point you're trying to bring across to your audience. So Misty, great thing to say. Yes, always have a couple of your notes in digital form on a piece of paper.
Now, if you make a mistake, whether you acknowledge it on camera or not, the number one thing is keep going. You know, we're all human. People will forgive a mistake. We all make mistakes. So don't feel like it's the end of the world if you miss a word or you mispronounce something. Just, you know, you can acknowledge it or not, but just keep going and folks, you know, you'll get through it. Now, I do want to touch on some tips for your actual content. You know, keep in mind that these days people have a shorter attention span. So you want to kind of vary your content when you're presenting if the event you're presenting at warrants that. So for instance, if you're using slides, avoid including a lot of text on your slides. Reading word for word from slides is actually kind of boring for most people. And so if you can use your slides as a prompter, like with bullet points, that's great. And you can have more of a conversational tone. So try to avoid word for word PowerPoint slides.
That's an excellent point right there, Misty. Sometimes our favorite thing to say is people don't read, and it's not your fault. It's too much information sometimes, so it's easier to listen. So that's a really great point.
Another tip is if you're presenting during an online event, consider getting the audience engaged with questions. Encourage them to pose questions in the chat or the Q&A section of the apparatus that you're using. Encourage them to interact with one another as well as respond to the content that you're producing. So you want it to be interactive in many cases. Most of the presentations you'll be doing for the chamber will, you know, I mean, we're a networking organization, so we definitely want to encourage relationships. So whenever possible, encourage people to get involved in the chat, ask them questions, present information, you know, in the chat. Just really use your chat because a lot goes on in the chat.
Absolutely. And especially, you know, it is a good way to connect with people, and make sure to always save your chats, because you also get a lot of good information from there. You get a lot of company information and you get to meet a lot of really great people. So yes, Misty, great point, you know, on the chats, utilize them.
You know, back in the day, they said that you had to switch up your content every 15 minutes during a presentation because of the attention span. I think that's been cut in half by now. I think it's every 7 or 8 minutes. So if you're presenting on a topic, you know, you may be talking about a particular subject, and then about 7 or 8 minutes in, you want to switch gears. So switching gears could be maybe you do a giveaway, maybe you take a poll, you know, maybe you include a video at that point, but just something that kind of breaks up that, I won't say monotony because it's not necessarily monotonous, but you want to stimulate the brain and, oh, it's something new. So it's actually biological right now. So, you know, when you're thinking about your presentation and how to keep people engaged, make sure you kind of give them little treats along the way. You present your concept and then maybe you pivot to something different.
Wonderful point. Another way to do it is have them get up and stretch. That's something that we've done before in a meeting, and it really does. You can see the engagement, and it really opens those people back up like, okay, let me reawake really quick with a quick stretch. And it's always fun to just see and laugh and giggle with each other while we do it and then get back to business. So stretching is a really great point. Also, like Misty said, giveaways are always really fun. And also it enables you to meet those people. Yeah. Doing giveaways also enables you to possibly meet that person in the future whenever you give them their goodie. So that's another great way to connect with people.
And if your presentation is on a time restriction, you want to make sure you practice. You know, we used to say growing up, we heard from our parents, practice makes perfect. And we're not necessarily looking for perfection, but we just want you to be comfortable. And we want you to stay within your allotted time. So if you know you only have 15 minutes, 20 minutes, even 60 minutes, you still want to practice a couple times just to make sure that you are staying within your time frame. So maybe use the timer on your phone or have a friend help you, but make sure to go through your presentation a few times to ensure that you're staying on track.
Yes, absolutely. Time is key. And sometimes we have 6 or 7 of these meetings a day. So making sure that we respect everybody's time and their business day, it's really great to make sure that you're on time too.
Now, we know that you are brilliant and you are an expert in your industry and you're very knowledgeable about your subject matter, and people are going to want to connect with you after you get finished presenting. So make sure that you always thank people for their time and you give them additional ways to connect with you, whether it's through email, phone number, website, social media. Just don't forget, because that's part of what this is all about, connection. So make sure folks know how to connect with you once your presentation is over.
That's excellent. And another way is you can do a virtual background, and you can even add maybe your digital business card above you so it's constantly behind you so people can see that. That's just another really great option to do.
Now, what I consider my best tip, if there's nothing else you remember this. If you feel like you're getting nervous, just take a few breaths and remember, they're just people. They're not going to bite you. They're not going to, destroy you or anything like that. So ideally, you want to have fun. At the end of the day, you want to have a good time and you want them to have a good time. So if you keep that in mind, I think you'll do great.
Absolutely. That was the perfect thing to say, Misty, because everybody does get nervous, and sometimes that holds you back from really great opportunities. So if you do ever get nervous, just remember, these are friends, these are coworkers, these are people as well. So we all get nervous, but if you practice makes perfect, and then you won't be nervous anymore. So be sure to always feel comfortable in what you do, feel confident in what you do, because you are talking about what you love, and that is your business.
And that's my last tip.
Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Karina. You can see Karina presenting and doing a great job at our monthly events. She hosts chamber orientation along with a few other events here at the chamber. And Misty actually has hosted or presented at our WHO 2021 Outlook conference, which is uploaded in this YouTube channel as well. So you can go and see her great presentation work there, along with, who, and our other great videos. So thank you for being here with us today, and see you at our event. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.